Pools have been a staple of any summer event, whether it's a large public pool, some epic water park, or even someone's personal pool. Some pools out there want to go that extra mile and not only give you an experience you won't forget, but also scare the hell out of you while doing it. From a pool high up in the sky with no harness to a pool where you're surrounded by mountains, here are 10 of the scariest pools in the world. Number 10. Marina Bay Sands. The Marina Bay Sands Resort is a luxury location in Singapore with several different amenities for guests, including shops and casinos. However, undoubtedly, one of its best views would be its pool, located on the top of the resort itself. If you're like me and hate heights, you're probably thinking of one thing. Nope!
No! God, please, no! No! No!
And I don't blame you if you do think that like me. This is a pool on top of 57 levels of hotel with zero guardrails or safety precautions, seemingly. This also seemingly looks like a lawsuit just waiting to happen. However, it seems to not have any real problems attributed to it, so I guess that's pretty neat. This pool spans all 3 of the hotel's buildings, stretching 146 meters in total, making it both a very long pool and still very terrifying as well. Number 9. The Holiday Inn Shanghai. Alright, last entry wasn't enough for you. I get it, so I guarantee you this one will be. The last entry at least had the decency to keep the pool on the same place as the building. This horrifying monstrosity of engineering and design, however, this one's giving me a heart attack just by staring at the picture. What you're seeing here is a pool suspended from the roof of the Holiday Inn, Minecraft style. No real supports here, glass floor at the bottom to show you just how high up you are. Oh yeah, pretty terrifying. This pool sits ajar from the roof of the Holiday Inn in Pudong, Keng Kiao, where this pool allows you to take a vast view of the city below. For better or for worse, really. Seriously, this idea alone seems like it was made in Minecraft and it's giving me anxiety. Number 8. New Zealand Hilton Motel. Alright, admittedly slightly less terrifying than our previous entries here, but still kinda nerve-wracking. This pool is located at the Hilton Hotel in Auckland, New Zealand. And as you can see, it has less of a focus on the down below and more of a focus on the side. This rather interesting side view gives you not only a view of the landscape across, but also gives passerbys below a chance to see you show off that new swimsuit or swim some laps. This pool has reinforced glass situated beside it to make sure you don't accidentally bump into it and fall off. Now, this is scary on the aforementioned facts alone, but this has the added bonus scare factor of allowing people to judge your beach body and your swim form. Sure, the ground may hurt when you fall 50 stories, but let's be honest, words hurt more. Number 7. Koh Samui Blood Pool, Thailand. I'll admit, this pool is far less terrifying to me personally than our first 2 entries. Scary? Nah. Unsettling? Oh, bloody hell yes. And bloody is a very appropriate term to use for this entry, as this pool seems to literally be filled with blood. Kinda like it was a shark feeding frenzy before, but thankfully the actual explanation is far less gruesome. This is the Koh Samui Blood Pool located in Thailand, part of the Chang Beach Resort. The blood red hue doesn't come from any additives, or thankfully real blood, but actually comes from the orange, red, and yellow tiles laid below. The combo of these colors mixed with the rippling water gives it a bloody appearance, making it a pretty good example of minimalist design. Safe to swim in, but you might get weird looks from some of your more squeamish friends. Number 6. HEMEROSCOPIUM House, Madrid. Moving on to one of the few personal pools on this list. Actually, I think this may be the only personal pool here. Then moving on. We got this rather bizarre looking home in Madrid. I know I complained about the Holiday Inn Hotel earlier, but this one looks even worse somehow. While there's no bottom window for you to stare down at, this pool does extend all the way from the house, past a tree, and comes to a rest several feet away. While the height of the pool is far lower than our previous entries, it still looks pretty nerve-wracking. I mean, honestly, the structure just sort of juts out into space with no real supports or such. But I can confirm this house is 100% safe with its weird pool, and if it's still too much for you, then thankfully there's also a ground pool below. Number 5. The Sky Tower Pools. You ever look at a building or structure and just think, that looks like it's from Destiny 2? Not me, but after looking at this, I could believe it. From a video game, this is not. This is the Sky Tower Pools in Mexico City. Take the same concept as the Holiday Inn pool, that one's coming up quite a bit on this list today actually, and quadruple it. This not only has several pools that take the same concept as the one in Shanghai, but has them overlapping one another. Each one is at a higher elevation than the last, making it almost seem as if you could jump from one pool to the other, kinda like again in a video game. Don't do this, however. Chances are you'd mess it up and not only biff it against the side of one of the pools, you'd also fall all the way down. I don't have an exact measurement of how high the tallest pool is at, but I guarantee you won't be coming out of it alive, buddy. Number 4. SWALA Luxury Lodge, Tanzania. Now that we stopped talking about heights for a little bit, I'm really starting to get a headache here. Round pools, though, are pretty nice, right? Well, generally, at least. However, this pool might beg to differ. This is the SWALA Luxury Lodge located in Tanzania. This may seem less like a pool and more like an animal watering hole, and you'd actually be right. This pool doubles as the water source for wild animals who happily come to drink in the spring. Elephants, gazelles, and of course, hungry lions will all saddle up and take a drink while you swim. Dangerous? Yes. Cool? Debatable on that one. I looked up the resort to see if there were any real precautions or dangers from this experience, but I couldn't find much, so I assume it's more of a swim at your own peril sort of dealie. Number 3. Chernobyl Pool, Chernobyl. Less luxury and far more dangerous and illegal, we move on to a pool you both wouldn't want to and couldn't actually swim in. Chernobyl was a tragic accident in which the nuclear radiation power plant in Chernobyl suffered a meltdown, causing the plant to leak deadly radiation from its source. Explosions, radiation, all this caused several deaths as well as spreading the surrounding area around with deadly energy. This rings true to the picture shown today. While this pool is certainly drained of any water it may have previously had, this is still a terrifying sight. A true example of the horror seen on that tragic day. It's possible to fill this pool up once more, yes, but it's also possible remaining radiation and other parasites would infest the water. You could swim in it, yes, but it would probably cost you your life. Now it's time for today's best pick. Today's best pick is not an actual pool. This is photoshopped, if it isn't obvious. While I'm sure a helicopter could support a pool like this, I couldn't find any real examples here. Plus, that helicopter looks like it's made of solid gold. Just my own personal gripe there. With that said, I don't have any helicopter flights on my list, but I do have a rather harrowing experience for you. With that said, number 2. Natural Pool, Victoria Falls. More a river than a pool, really. This lush spring is located in Victoria Falls, Africa. Naturally beautiful with flowing water, fresh green nature, and also waterfalls. Now that might seem like a bad idea to actually go swimming anywhere near a waterfall, but... Actually, no, wait, yeah, don't go near waterfalls, that's a bad idea. Despite that, though, this is still a pretty popular tourist spot, with both swimming and boat tours being readily available activities for tourists. People also swim near the edge of the waterfalls, and they're totally fine. That's only if the river's water is low enough to swim, however, which is typically from August to December. This is when the water is both low enough and the current is at its weakest, making it so there's nearly no threat of being forced over the edge unless you actually slip or something. Combine this with the natural rock wall at the cleft of the falls, and you have a rather unique experience on your hands. Before we move on, do me a favor. My analytics show that only about 15% of you watching are actually subscribed. Come on guys, what's up with that? Can you guys please hit the subscribe button? You guys watch my videos every day anyway, so you might as well subscribe and keep up to date with every video we put out. Number 1. The Cambrian, Switzerland. So, after talking about dizzying heights, interactions with wild animals, and tackling a waterfall, what could honestly be scarier? Well, what about Mother Nature herself? What we have for our number 1 pick today is the Cambrian, a pool located in the chilly mountains of Switzerland. This beautiful view of the snowy mountain truly is a breathtaking sight to behold, and it honestly doesn't look that scary to be honest. However, the scare factor isn't in anything like water pressure or animals. The fear here is that this pool is situated high up on the mountains. One stupid mistake and you're careening all the way down to some pretty hard snow. Sure, you could end up surviving that, but you're currently nearly naked, covered in water, and in freezing temperatures. Really, you can do the math on your own there, Sunny Jim. And that is our video for today, folks. I do hope you enjoyed it. Which pool would you brave? Hopefully not the Chernobyl one. Kinda self-explanatory on why you shouldn't do that. Either way, let us know down below in the comments, and with all that said and done, I'll see you all next time. Later, everybody.